I am biased. I have to say that before I go any further with my discussion about To Grandmother's House We Go. I grew up idolising the Olsen twins. I still love the Olsen twins. So when I watched To Grandmother's House We Go, I knew I'd like it. And I have to say, I do really like it. There are things about it that make it unrealistic, basically the entire film. But that's kind of a recurring theme with a lot of the Olsen's earlier works, where very young children get into situations that are not suitable for very young children. It's also got quite a strong sentimental thread running through it, and kind of hard-hitting. This was released in 1992, which was the year I was born. The Olsens would have been 5 or 6, depending on when it was released, and that means they would have been about 4 or 5 when they filmed it, but they look about 3, and that's to their advantage because it just makes them look cuter and more vulnerable. And the cast is great. The rest of the cast is great as well. It's directed by Jeff Franklin, written by Jeff Franklin and Boyd Hale. And the narrative is one of those ones where it's unbelievable, but it's also really good fun to watch. It's also worth pointing out that Jeff Franklin produced Full House, which gave the Olsens their fame. So the description from IMDb reads as follows. When twins Sarah and Julie feel their mom is tired of them, they take off on an exciting adventure to their great-grandmother's house and encounter a pair of villains along the way. I know, not really realistic. It's quite upsetting, actually, because they hear their mother on the phone saying that she just wished she had a break. You know, she's a single mother, she's working all the hours, it's almost Christmas, she's exhausted, and she says something along the lines of, you know, she just wished she could have a night on her own, or something like that. And the twins hear, and that's heartbreaking. And they decide that their mother, well, as it said there, their mother is tired of them. So, which is horrible. And they decide to take themselves off, unbeknownst to their mother, to walk to their great-grandmother's house. And obviously these are very young girls, walking quite far and encountering, well, as it said, villains and many other potential disasters. Like, they're not even old enough to cross the road by themselves yet. But, you know, they go off on this journey, and they describe it as an exciting adventure. If I thought that my parents were tired of me, well, the less said about that, the better. And they go off on this adventure, and they encounter all of these different problems. Because it's the Olsen twins, they're always smiling, or if they're terrified, they have these adorable little shocked expressions. They are wonderful actors. And especially when they were younger, they just were so expressive, so articulate, so sweet and adorable. And that's one of the reasons why pretty much the whole world fell in love with them, because they were so cute. And it works very, very well here. The rest of the cast is great as well. So obviously we have Ashley and Mary-Kate playing Julie and Sarah respectively. We also have Rhea Perlman in this, who I love, and she plays a character called Shirley. Cynthia Geary plays their mother Rhonda. Obviously by the nature of the film we don't see too much of her. And we come across a lot of interesting characters and interesting people. It's also worth mentioning, and this is something that you might not pick up on unless you are a fan of Full House, but Candace Cameron, Andrea Barber, Laurie Loughlin and Bob Saget were all in this, in uncredited roles, which I just think is lovely. And it was lovely to have, you know, they would have had people they were familiar with on set with them, because they are still young girls. And it's good fun. It's interesting. Now, I'm viewing this as an adult. I watched this for the first time, I think, either a year ago or 2 years ago. So at the very youngest, I would have been 26, 28 now. Not the target audience. If I'd watched it when I was younger, I would have loved the sense of adventure. Watching it as an adult, I love it for the Olsens, but I fully acknowledge that it's not realistic. It wouldn't happen in real life. The twins were at significant risk of being kidnapped and more. But as an Olsen addict, it's really enjoyable, and I like the little Full House Easter eggs that are peppered in this. It is a good, fun film, and you don't need to pay much attention to it. If you're tired and just want to watch something easy and adorable, To Grandmother's House We Go is a great one. Does it give the best message out to young children? No. If you're a young child and you think your parent doesn't want you around, don't run away. It's not the solution. But if you overlook that, and I just assume that no child's ever run away as a result of this film, it's sweet. I would watch it again. I like the Olsens. I love the Olsens. I would definitely watch it again. If you want some nostalgia or you want to have a relaxing film, To Grandmother's House We Go is a good one. If you're not a fan of the Olsens, then maybe give this one a miss. But otherwise, it's good. It's good fun.